So next up, we'd like to invite our special guest, Anisa Khan, who was an apprenticed finalist last year. Having graduated from the London School of Economics, she formed a corporate career before starting a Italian-Indian fusion kitchen during COVID, creating those fantastic pizzas we saw on the programme last year. And although a finalist, and we saw the fantastic impact she made, we was obviously all wish she'd have won, unfortunately. You know, I think Lord Sugar made the wrong choice, if you ask me. But without further ado, here's Anisa.
Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. Hi. Firstly, thank you so much for everyone who organised the event. It's such a great chance, to foster the next generation and to really show some talent. And I'm really honoured to be here. So thank you for having me, first of all. For those who don't know me, I'm Anisa. As the introduction said, I was a finalist on last year's BBC's The Apprentice. And I'm the founder of Bombay Pizza. We do Indian Italian pizzas, and we've grown a lot since. So as I said, most people know me from the show. I actually was a massive fan of The Apprentice since I was 7 years old. I watched it every single year, and I think The Apprentice is such an amazing show, especially for young people, because I remember I was, in year 2, year 3, when the show first came out, and at such a young age, I knew I wanted to go into business one day. And I actually watched the show every single year. So when I was 8, 9, 10, 11, and I used to watch it thinking, okay, if I did the task, then I would do this. This is how my team was going to win. And I remember being so young and it giving me so much passion and energy for business. So that's something I'm really grateful for the show. And obviously getting onto the show was a dream come true. So what's actually quite funny is when you're a viewer of the show, in your head you think, oh, these people are so stupid. Or you think, I remember being 8 years old and thinking, these adults don't know anything. Like, if I was on the show, I would do this and that. That's why one thing I do want to say for the viewers is everything is not what it seems on TV. It's definitely not as easy as it sort of you might perceive it to be. Since coming out the show, so many people ask me a lot about it, and they ask me, is it staged, is it scripted, or what's Lord Sugar like? And my experience of the show overall was quite positive. I would say that it makes it a lot harder in terms of timings. So what you see as a viewer, there's 100 hours for every episode, and you only see 1 hour of the show, so you only ever see 1% of what happens. And that's something that you can't really be prepared for. But obviously, as someone who went through the show, it has helped me so much as a businesswoman today. So so to go back actually in time. So when I started Bombay Pizza, I was actually 22 years old. I was 22, I had just graduated from LSE, and in my head, I thought, I'm clearly gonna go into corporate. Because actually when I was a child, my parents very much put that mindset into me that you have to either become a doctor or become a dentist or an engineer or become a banker. So when I was younger, I sort of thought those were the only paths I could possibly go down. And because I studied economics at LSE, the natural one was to become either an investment banker or a consultant. And to be fair, I enjoyed school, I enjoyed what I studied, and I was quite lucky in the sense of it was 2020, it was COVID, and my graduate job actually delayed me. So I had a job lined up for one of the biggest tech firms in the world. I was on the scholarship, I had a guaranteed job, and my life seemed pretty set. But because of COVID, they delayed me a whole entire year, and I found myself in a position where I had a whole year of free time, and then I thought to myself, okay, what do I actually want to do? Right? I have all this free time, I'm still young, it doesn't really matter. What I do, I can go traveling, I could get another job or do all these things. And I kind of thought back to what does younger Anisa wish I would do with this time? And as I told you, I was a big fan of The Apprentice, but I always knew that one day I wanted to have my own business. So I was 22, had the time, so I literally just started a pizza business within a week. When I tell people now, it's I went on Facebook to find an Italian pizza chef, hired him, I was like, okay, we're starting a business together now. I made the menu, made the logo. After a few months, it became Bombay Pizza. I took toppings from, my dad's and my cultures, obviously Indian, Bangladeshi. I took those toppings, put into a pizza, and Bombay Pizza started. And when I think about it now, it was a very quick, sudden sort of decision. And it's now been 5 years. And with my business, I now have 10 locations, and it's become a £1 million business. Thank you. But as I said, when I started it, I think when people ask me about when I start my business, I think they want like a big story of how I had a business plan and, I sat down, I studied business, and then I thought, well, I should do this, and it was really well thought out. But the honest truth of it wasn't. I was just 22 and bored, and I thought, okay, let me just do something. And obviously now it's turned out really well, but I think that's such a key message, especially for like the younger generation as well, is you don't always need to have everything planned out. You just have to have that mindset of having a bit of creativity of, okay, what am I good at? What can I actually bring to society? What can I bring to make it special? Having that, and also having sort of that faith within yourself that it doesn't matter what happens, but as long as I work hard, it will always work out. And of course, along the way, I have made so many mistakes. Like, I laugh about, when I think of my first ever logo, my first ever pizza, it was so bad. But that is what brought me to what I am now. And, these are the things that when you're young especially, you have the time, you have the freedom, like make those mistakes, you just never know. And it doesn't really matter either. So if my pizza thing didn't work out, I wouldn't have cared in that sense, because I was young. I had nothing to lose, really. I could have gone to corporate if I wanted to afterwards. I could have got another job. And I think that mindset is what keeps you free and actually gives you the opportunity to create something. So if I tell someone now, like, oh yeah, I've got 10 locations, I've got a £1 million business, everyone's like, wow, that's so amazing. And obviously it's amazing, but that's not what I sort of went out to do. I was just having fun, wanted to do something, and that's what it became. And I think that's a really strong message to have for the young generation. And another thing is, if anyone's watched the show, with my season, I got to the final, but I was actually the candidate who lost the most tasks. So out of 10, my team lost 8 tasks. And it was a really grueling process. And I remember Lord Sugar, when it came down to task 10, he was like, okay, why should I bring you to the final 5? Why should I keep you here? Like, out of everyone here, you have lost the most, Anissa, so why do you think you deserve to be in the final? And then my answer was, yes, I've lost the most, but therefore I've learned the most. Because I've been in the losing team, I actually did a lot of hard work throughout. So it didn't matter that I made mistakes, because you have to make the mistakes to learn how to do it. And then that's what my argument was also. Out of all the other candidates, I led the most. So I was PM, two tasks, sub-PM are 5 tasks, which basically meant that half the tasks I took on the leadership position. And a lot of people, they could have won all the tasks but done nothing. They could easily hide in the background. It's those who put themselves forward, who take on leadership positions and who aren't afraid to make mistakes. Those are the type of people who'd make a good entrepreneur. And obviously he put me through. So it was a good answer. But that is what it is for life. It doesn't matter about business, or if you want to become a singer or a dancer, or you want to become a doctor or electrician. Whatever you want to do, or if you don't want any job either, you just want to have fun. Like, the important part is, whatever you want to do in life is to make sure that you have that goal and that you consistently work hard to get it, and you will be successful in your own right. Thank you.